Welcome back to another episode of Global Card Collectors. Today we have a new person for me. This is Ashanti. How are you,
Hello,
ma'am?
everyone. Good. How are you?
Uh, Ashanti reached out to me because he recently moved to Turkey, or Turkey, and looking to talk to meet people, of course, as we all do. About cards and what the card scene's like. So I invited him on to share his journey. He has quite an interesting path to Turkey, and so yeah, maybe you can start us off, I guess, by kind of my normal question. How'd you get into cards? Where does it all start? Sports? How long have you been in the hobby? These kinds of things. Take you however you want.
Okay, so I might have a similar story to many people. When I was a little kid, I collected sports cards and stuff like that. And when I became an adult, it slowed down a lot. I would buy a pack here and there, right? But during the pandemic, so this is probably where a lot of people jumped back into cards. Um, my friend, he was starting a lot of like card related businesses and stuff like that. So I wanted to, hang out with him more and stuff like that. So I started to rekindle my fervor for collecting, right? So this is when I was in South Korea. I was an assistant professor in South Korea. And so I started buying and it became like, a wildfire and just like grew and grew and grew. At first, I made many mistakes buying stuff. I didn't know what people were collecting. I didn't know. I bought a lot of boxes, so I'd buy boxes and I'd like to rip the packs, and stuff like that. I wasn't buying card singles,
Hmm.
and at first I was buying the wrong boxes. Apparently, buying a lot of retail stuff. And my friends were like, "If you want to get something good, you have to buy the hobby boxes. Like the chances are a lot higher." And then I started to go into card singles again. Actually, in the beginning, I wasn't really into card singles that much, besides trading, right? Meet up with my friends and I would trade with them and stuff like that. But then I saw that the ROI, return on investment, I wasn't trying to sell cards, okay, in the beginning, but you don't want to just dump money either. So it's a better return on investment if I just buy card singles. So eventually, I started to open up a channel and I liked the feedback from the channel. In that channel, I would open up hobby boxes and sometimes get some really great cards. So I have a couple cards I got that are really, really great. And of course, that feeds the beast. You want more and more. Actually, 2023 was a really great year. I got lots of great cards. This year, before I came to Turkey, wasn't as good. I kind of slowed down in buying the boxes and stuff like that because the box prices were like really, really high. And they were just, overstuffing them with, parallels and stuff like that. And
Totally.
so I got more into card singles. Uh, I do a lot of buying online because in Turkey there's not a lot of places that I know of that have cards. So that's kind of the encapsulation of my journey right there.
Yeah, it sounds similar to me, and I'm sure a lot of people. I like your wildfire analogy. That really resonated with me about how it started for me in 2021. So yeah, I mean, there is not a lot of product in Turkey. Just kind of hard to find. There's not a store. There's Mythos. I don't know if you've discovered them yet. They sell some soccer tops products. But otherwise, yeah, it's to actually get cards, you kind of have to operate in the American markets. And you told me beforehand, I mean, shared that you largely use ComC, which
Hmm.
I do as well, very much. I mean, it's just kind of so easy for us to you buy something on eBay and send it there, and either you can grade it or you can sell it again if you're trying to, just trying to build up your cash flows. We all are to get the more of the cards we want. And so you were in South Korea before here. How long were you there?
I was in South Korea 9 years as a high school teacher, 4 years as associate or assistant professor.
Okay.
Uh, The card market there was a lot better. There's a lot of hobby stores, especially around Seoul, and I was part of like a card collecting group. This group, they had a lot more money than me, most of the people. So they'd be buying cards all the time, and I get jealous and stuff. But uh, I had to like try not to keep up with them. Some of them were from Japan, some of them were from Korea, America. The Americans, like me, didn't have much except for one guy who was in the military, and he was making bank because he's getting paid in USD, and the exchange rate from USD to Korean won it hasn't been good for a while. So he was just using USD and getting like 30% off every time. So, um, but yeah, actually, Comsi, I just figured out about the eBay to mailbox option. I didn't know that. It's kind of a good thing I didn't, because if I did, I would have been on eBay all the time. So, but yeah, nowadays, Comsi, I actually have gotten some Mythos stuff. I got some soccer. Do I have any here? Not sure. Like for example, I just had the Mythos cards. Maybe this is Bastikas or something.
Yeah, Beşiktaş. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good.
But I don't know anything about it at
Uh,
all. It was just my desire to open some packs.
well, we can do it right now. I mean, I can make the sell. Beşiktaş is definitely, you won't win as much as Galatasaray or Fenerbahce, but it's the right team to support as a foreigner. I think because you're not in the middle of this Galatasaray Fenerbahce thing. Um,
Yeah.
And they're kind of, they're more the like working class. They were anarchists in the 70s. Like in 2013, they were like really strongly opposing, the Gezi Park protests. We don't want to get too political, but anyway, they're kind of liked by everybody. So I recommend
Oh,
choosing.
it was totally random, honestly, because I
All
also
right.
got this. I also got these. I don't
Okay.
know what I don't know what it is. I I learned later that it was a team. I just when I first came here, I saw some cards at a bookshop because I guess they're at bookshops a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "What's this Mythos thing?" And it was on half. It was half off, like 149 Turkish lira. So I was like, I just need to buy some cards. Nowadays I mostly get the adrenaline or top class if I can find it. Top class basketball. But the hits aren't really they're not really comparable to like, Tops and other Panini products. So it's not as much of a rush, which is
Right.
probably good for me because I'm not going to be spending as much money, you know.
Yes. Yeah. It's dangerous, obviously. I mean, we would all love to be opening as many boxes as we could. Uh,
Yeah. The thing is with the Panini products is they're only like 650 lira, Turkish lira, instead of like being like $400 a box, like some of these like Topps Chrome or something like that. But I
yeah.
don't know much about soccer. That's the only thing. So I don't. And besides the big names, I'm like, this card looks cool. I gotta search
Right.
and see if they're a good player or not. But
Well,
yeah,
you shared that you have an ongoing YouTube channel, right?
I would say it slowed down a lot
Yeah.
because I'm here. So there's a couple things. The production, I actually did release a video or a couple videos recently, but I got rid of all my equipment. Or I didn't bring it here, right?
Okay.
So I don't really have a lot of equipment to like set up the camera and everything else. I've been trying to find it. It's not as easy as like it was in Korea. But yeah, and I'm also really busy with my job and stuff, so I don't really have a lot of time to make the videos. I mostly focus more on the Instagram because I can grade a card and get the image from PSA or something like that, and then show the image.
Hmm.
And so that's a lot easier these days. When I get established more in Turkey, I find like equipment and maybe head up to Istanbul to get some products. Uh, I'll get back into the videos, but right now it's not really feasible. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, I might not have mentioned your handle at the beginning. On Instagram, it's digging in the cards. So you can connect with Ashanti there. But he also, you have opened some pretty big cards. That Erling Haaland, for instance.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah,
Erling Haaland one of one superfractor. The story with that is I can show it if you want me to show it.
yeah. We're go ahead. Yeah, we'll share screen and
Okay, I'll show it. Where is it? All right, so I'll just show you. I'll just show this right here. Okay. This the reason why there's three cards here is because in the same week I pulled all three of these cards. Okay. So one of them is the Patrick Mahomes stained glass. And at first I thought it was just a normal insert. I didn't because I didn't know a lot about the stained glass. Um the second one I was the Holland one of one. That was crazy. Okay, so at first I was making a video just for soccer fans, for my channel, right? So I bought a box of Topps Chrome Bundesliga, which was on sale. It was about $40 for the whole box. Okay, it was a huge sale
wow.
because it wasn't really popular, right? But the product hit had not been hit yet, right? And I didn't know anything about the product hit. I'm just opening it up because, I have soccer fans. I don't know much about it. Even in the video, you can see I butcher some names right before I say Erling Haaland, but I knew Erling Haaland. So I'm opening it up and I'm getting there and I see, oh, what's this? Oh, Erling Haaland? It's gold. And then I see the autograph and I still don't know if it's a super factor, but I still didn't know it was a one of one, right? And then I turn it around, I'm like, one of one. I'm like, holy, and I start swearing. And I just went crazy. I'm making the video. I had to stop. I had to stop because my heart was going crazy. And then, I sent a message to all my friends. I actually went viral for a little bit. You know the channel, what was the channel? It's a channel where this guy goes over the top polls or like the most valuable polls of the week. I don't know if
I
you've
don't
ever seen it.
I don't know it offhand. No.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular YouTube channel. I think it's Scott Does Cards or something like that.
Okay.
Anyways, so this made that, and it was all over the internet. It was all over Twitter. He's like, some guy pulled the Holland, some guy pulled the Holland, and yeah, I still have it now. I went to get it graded, so I went through BGS to get it graded, but I said to them, if it doesn't get a 10, just give it authentic, which was probably not a good idea. I should have got it like graded anyways. But so it just says authentic with the auto has a grade. And
Okay.
then a couple days later, I pulled the Ellie De La Cruz out of 150 uh, Bowman first, and I sold that actually because somebody wanted it right away. I sold it for $1,500, but they got a PSA 10, so it's worth a lot more there now. So,
It's all right. We
but
got to take profits when you can.
yeah, the Holland I didn't sell. A lot of people said don't sell that. Hold on to that. And then he got the Golds record and stuff like that. So I still have it, but it's in Korea. I was like, there's no way I'm going to bring it over here. I don't know about the security issues and stuff. And if they stop me, it's worth way more than customs allows. But maybe they would never know. But you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so
Dave
that's just
wouldn't. Yeah,
yeah.
I can tell you from experience, but yeah,
Well, maybe some of them are soccer fans, because Holland's a big name. Like a
sure.
lot of people in America don't know who Holland is, but around Europe and Asia, everybody knows Holland. Like, of course, that's Holland. Like when they say. So yeah, that's the story for that. I can tell you about some other cards if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go through.
Let's this one I bought. Okay, I didn't pull this, but I just thought I wanted a Joe Burrow auto rookie, so it was a pretty
This
good
is
price. Hmm?
what 2020 Panini plates and patches.
Yeah,
Auto
it-
25.
it's a yes, auto 25 right there is on card auto. And I just got it for a good price, about $500. Uh so I thought, yeah, let me pick that up, right? It's a Burrow rookie. I got that right before I came to Turkey. It was in a hobby shop in Korea. So that's one of the things in Korea. You can buy cards like this. They have a lot of card singles. A lot of the stuff is graded. They have a lot of high-end stuff because people there like high-end stuff, right? Um, and then let's see, let's go to the next one. Oops, that disappeared. We can take that out of it. All right. Now this is a card I got off of ComC and I graded it because I liked that it had all the patches. It has patches of LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Rasheed Wallace, and if I can get to the other without messing up, oh, this where is it? Right. I don't have the back of it. That's my mistake. Anyways, but on the back it has I think Duncan, who else? Uh oh wait, so Jason Kidd, uh and Kevin Garnett, right? Okay, so Kevin Garnett. So I got this because I wanted like a low numbered patch card of, Kobe Bryant and LeBron James on the same card, and then I got it graded. It's a near mint seven. It's hard to get like thick cards like this, like a really high number for graded. So
Sure.
that's this card, and this is just one of my favorite cards because it just has iconic players all over it, right?
Yeah, and one of
Uh,
our, I mean, Rasheed Wallace, one of our friends here, Barrick, he loves Rasheed, and he's always quoting, ball don't lie, ball don't lie.
yeah.
Good to have him around.
So here's the Holland. This is what I got it graded in the Beckett. So I think I got it graded by another company before. I got a 9.6, but it was like a kind of not legit company.
Hmm.
And so I was hoping to get like around a 10 this time, but I made the mistake. Maybe it's an 8. People looked at the car, they're like, it looks great. I don't know why it wouldn't be like really, really high. But that was my mistake. I kind of gambled and I said, well, just put it authentic. I should have said just grade it. Even if it's like an 8, it's still like really, really good, right?
Yeah, you
Um,
can always crack it. I mean, I kind of, it reminds me of this Nikola Jokic card I have that
yeah.
it's raw and there are just these like really minor micro kind of scratches on the front. I won't even call them scratches, but I just debate and debate what to do. I eventually graded it with Arena Club,
Hmm.
and it got a 9.5, but I feel like that it's not really a 9 point, like it would probably at best be a PSA 9. But I don't know how
Yeah.
to assess those kind of micro scratches. So I'm scared it'll get an 8 or a 7. So I'm like you. I understand of it. Like I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, this company is called All Grading. It was a company in Korea, and it was just like starting off, and it's just like people were looking at it, like, why do you have it in this slab, right? And I'm like, just keep it protected. That was the answer, right?
Yeah,
So I figured if I get it graded in like Beckett or authenticated, then that's just better than what I had before because people don't want a fake card or whatever. This authenticates it.
sure.
And also PSA would charge me thousands of bucks to get this graded. So
Yeah, that's a really
yeah.
that's a really good point. I mean, yeah, if somebody wants it, if you eventually move it,
Yeah.
they'll buy it in the slab, I think.
Yeah, so Beckett w was charging like 150 to get this graded. So they don't
Okay.
really have the super like upcharges of PSA. However, I heard a rumor, I'm not sure if it's true that PSA is going to not ask for the values of the cards anymore. I'm not sure.
Ooh,
Uh if that is the case, then yeah, I'll be sending it there. But yeah, so here it's the one of
interesting.
one. So but I don't know if they're really going to do that. So I just heard that is a possibility. So um, here's a Aaron Judge. I was fortunate to get this off ComC. This is out of 99. It's a pre-rookie card, but I got it graded and it got a 10, so I really like it. It's my favorite Aaron Judge card. Eventually, I'm not a Yankees fan because we talked previously, I'm a Red Sox fan, but I like Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is an amazing player. And my friend, before Aaron Judge, was starting to hit crazy number of home runs and stuff, he was always injured. My friend was like, "You should get Aaron Judge. He's so good. He's so good." And I
Hmm.
was like, "Yeah, whatever." I always thought he was going to be injured, so I should have followed his advice. But But I got this, and I got a PSA 10. So this is my favorite Aaron Judge card, numbered to 99. Maybe one day I can get an auto. Who knows? Uh, I don't know if you know who this guy is. Okay, this guy is Jung Hoo Lee. He's a Korean player, but he went to the major leagues this year for the Giants, but he got hurt. So they call him the Mike Trout of the Korean leagues, right? He's like only 26 years old. Unfortunately, he got hurt. So this is another situation where I was making a video for the for his signing. He got signed, and so I was like, I'm gonna make a video just because he got signed, right? And I bought these boxes. These KBO League boxes, they're really cheap. Okay, like this one was like maybe $30 or something like that, right? They've gone way up, but they were like 30 bucks. Is my color? All right, just to make sure.
Hmm.
Um, so I just was making the video just for other people, and what do you know? I pull like the best card out of the. It was two. This was I did this year. Okay, this is 2019. This is um I pulled the best card out of it. The Lee Jung-hoo on card red auto. It was raw, of course, and I sent it to PSA. I figured there's no way it's going to get a 10 because they come out with the corners rounded already, right?
Uh-huh.
So PSA doesn't like really grading those. They don't really know what grade to give him. So I thought a 9 was actually pretty good. So this card was actually did have pretty good value, and his cards are still kind of like high in value, but he got hurt, so his value went down. So hopefully next year he will uh do really well. And who
Right.
knows, He might be like the Korean Ichiro, who knows? But
Okay.
the way his stance, everything he does is similar to Ichiro.
Good to
Not
know.
be, yeah.
I am a Giants fan, but I don't follow that closely when they're
Oh
not.
yeah,
So yeah, I should know this.
he was their big signing this year, like
Okay. No, this all right.
international signing. Yeah,
Cool.
probably because he got hurt, so you didn't really hear much about him.
Yeah.
So that's him. So and
That's really
then
cool. Yeah.
this card, I got this off ComC as well. Actually, I try to find Ken Griffey Jr. cards, like rare Ken Griffey Jr. cards and autographs and stuff like that. Specifically when he's playing, I don't really like those cards that I'm not going to say I don't like them, but they're not as desirable the ones after they have retired, they're non-active players.
Hmm.
Um I didn't this didn't cost that much money for a Griffey signature. I assume it's because it's a Reds, he's in the Reds jersey. Because if he's in the Mariners jersey, it's a premium, right? But I wanted a Griffey auto, on card auto. Like, growing up, Griffey was like the big guy, Too bad he got hurt, because or he wasn't really hurt, but his hamstrings were bad. Because he would have had like 800, 900 home runs. Maybe 800, honestly. Like, anyways, but so I have two autographs, but one I don't have the picture of. There's another card I have of Griffey and his father. It's a flip card, right? So he's on the front, and then his father's on the back, and then it has a Griffey's autograph on there, but it wasn't like a major release, so it's not super high value, whatever, but it's still a
Hmm.
really cool card. I also have the reverse one with his father signatured and him on the back. That's only like a $30 card, but
Okay.
and there's a third one. I maybe I should save this for like a story for later on, but with his cousin, Craig Griffey Jr. You ever hear of Craig Griffey Jr.?
Maybe 30 years ago I had. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a third one because I'm trying to find these cards and I see what's this Craig Griffey Jr. And then I look at it and it's like it has Ken Griffey Jr. on the front and then Craig Griffey Jr. on the back, and I think it has Craig's autograph, but I think that's really hard to find. So
Interesting.
there's that one. This one is a disappointment, really, because I graded it. It got a PSA 6. I mean, I understand why, but this I also try to find Otani cards, but they're so expensive, right?
Yeah.
Uh I was able to find this. It's a BBM, which is the Japanese uh, card, whatever. Anyway, so this is Otani, and this is Sho Nakata, who's actually a legendary player in well, he's still playing, but he's a really really good player, almost Otani level in Japan, right? So they were teammates in 2015 before he came to or he came to California, whatever, right? And so this is a double jersey. I think it's numbered to 36, right? And I got it raw, and I went to get it graded, and I got a PSA 6. I mean, I couldn't. It's the thick card with jerseys, so you can't expect like a really high grade usually. But if it had gotten a 10, oh man, oh,
How many copies of that have been graded? Do you know?
I don't know exactly. Not many, maybe less than five.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
it's a cool looking card. I mean, you have to, for listeners, you have to see the video, but I personally like free rookies, from the
mhm.
Japanese league. That I think that's really cool. Cool card.
Yeah, if you want to find like better better value Otani cards, you have to search through the pre-rookies in Japanese leagues. This is not the rookie. This is not his Japanese rookie. It's pre-rookie for major leagues, but
Yeah.
I think his rookie was like 2013, I think. So you can find stuff like this if you search uh hard enough.
Were you aware of Otani when you were in Korea? I mean, I get obviously when he came to the majors, but before when he was playing in Japan.
Uh was I? Yeah, actually I had heard of him. Everyone thought, or not everyone, but a lot of people thought, it's just going to be like another Japanese sensation who comes to the major leagues and is just like a little bit above average player. A lot of people
Okay.
were worried about that, right? Because there's been some really good Japanese players, but a lot of them have like, started off well and fizzled out. But when Otani came, of course, he was just amazing in both ends. So I think he's gone way and above expectations, and well, of course, he's kind of considered as like one of the best players ever now, right? So,
It seems that way.
uh,
I don't know that well, but yeah, it certainly seems that way from afar.
yeah, if he stays healthy, like he will go down as possibly and continues his pace as possibly the number one player of all time. It's that crazy. He had 50 steals last year. He's a 50-50 player. 50 home
Yeah.
runs and 50 or this year, I'm sorry, this year. And the World Series champion. So that's he's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So moving on to a area of the world where you're more your childhood, I think.
Yeah. So I try to get Tom Brady cards. I usually get them on ComC. It's a little bit of a risk because I can't really check out the conditions of the cards, right? But if I can get a low numbered Tom Brady card on ComC and at a good reasonable price, because honestly, ComC people, sorry, I have a little guess. They put the prices up way too high, right? A lot of times. So you really have to search, search, search. I don't remember how much I got this for, but it was a kind of under the radar Panini Contenders gold winning ticket gold out of 49. You can't really, it's hard to see a little bit. If you're watching on if you're watching a video, it's hard to see. But I sent this to get graded. I got a PSA 10, and I was like, yes, yes, it's a pop one too,
Okay,
right?
cool.
Which is even better, right? Actually, these days I try to get cards under 50, like or 40. It's usually not 50, it's usually 49 or under, right?
Mhm.
I try to get that. And later, I don't have the picture of this card, but I got a green Pulsar, same card, PSA 10. It's out of 27. So that's on my Instagram. You can see on my Instagram. I don't have the picture of it here, but and then this is not even my best card. My best Tom Brady card. I don't have a picture of this because anything that has the ComC logo on it, I don't really show the picture of because I don't like the how it has the logo in front of it.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of diminishes the feeling a little bit. But I think it's a 2020 Panini Prism gold out of 11 PSA 10. And so that's my best Tom Brady card
Wow.
to date.
Wow.
And I'm trying to get an auto, but they're a little bit too expensive. So
Yeah, it's his, I mean, his market is I mean, it was insane like 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
yeah,
Has it softened? I assume. I haven't looked.
not really, but I think it's going to go up when he gets officially, into the Hall of Fame,
Hmm.
right? Because he's the GOAT football player. I mean, some people might say Jerry Rice or is debatable, but I think it's got to be Brady, right? Um, I also have another card out of 10 that's being graded. I have two cards out of 10 that are being graded. One has Brady, Branch, and I think David Givens on it. It's like a triple, and it's out of 10. It's a 2015 unparalleled or something like that. And I hope that gets a 10, but probably not. It'd probably get like an 8 because it's an older card. I mean, no, it's not 15. It's like 2000 like 9 or something like that. And then I have a VIP, the VIP packs from the conventions
Hmm.
they have. They're not worth as much, but if you can get them graded and a low number to grade it at PSA 10, the value of it goes a lot higher, right? So that's my Tom Brady. Oh, here's some stuff on ComC I have. There you can see kind of like a little bit there's the Brady
Yeah.
out of 11, right?
Yep.
I have it I have it priced a little bit higher because I don't want to sell it. So anything I don't want to sell, I put higher.
Yeah, that's what everyone's on ComC. They just like, if someone really wants it, fine, but
Yeah. So yeah, this is a Tom Brady out of 50, PSA 10. I graded that. Most of the Tom Brady's I graded myself, except for the green pulsar. I bought that. Also, there's a Suarez 1 of 1. I bought that and I graded. Do you know Luis Suarez?
Yeah.
So I have some friends I know from Uruguay, and they really love him. So I got his cards, and then Connor McDavid. I pulled this actually last year as well. This is an auto of Connor McDavid. But I won't go too much on that, just in case people are listening and they don't know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they
yeah,
definitely, if you're
but
only listening, check out the video.
yes. Here's a kind of this card right here is my first Trout auto that I bought. I really wanted a Mike Trout auto, and his market is a little bit down now, so you can get Trout stuff for a little bit cheaper. It's not that much, but a little bit cheaper. And then once in a while, I'll get comic cards. Like I got this Hulk card right here, uh, PSA 10 out of 35. That's a really cool card as well. But I'm not super into comics, but I used to be. So anytime I can find like a Hulk or a Silver Surfer or someone like that, uh, I'll grab it. Black Panther or Blue Marvel. I don't know if you know Blue Marvel, but that's what I have to show you today.
Very
Yeah.
cool. And so you I mean you have a, varied collection. And so any what are you kind of looking at these days? Like what's kind of your are you looking at Brady more like to add to Brady or I'm just guessing.
Well, right now I look for a few players because I look for Tatum because
Okay.
I like Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard. His cards have gone up a little bit, but they're still pretty cheap. But he's not a starter, so um, Tom Brady from the Patriots. No one really else from the Patriots, just Tom Brady. Uh, Red Sox, Tristan Casas, Rafael Devers, uh, Nathan Eovaldi. He's not on the Red Sox anymore, but I liked it when he was on the Red Sox. I like the type of player he is. Aaron Judge, Jose Altuve. I like Altuve. I know a lot of people don't like him. They think he's a cheater or whatever, but I think that's BS. Especially he's continued to perform after that. So, um, uh, Alex Bregman. I like some Houston guys. Like some people don't like the Houston teams because of they got caught cheating or whatever.
Yeah.
But they've still been winning though. So what are you talking about, right? They've still been winning. So, Out the top of the head, soccer. I don't really look for soccer, but I will get some more Holland cards just because of out of nostalgia because I got the cool Holland card. So if I see other rare Holland cards, I'll pick it up. I pick up Suarez a lot because I have my friends from Uruguay, and I try to get them cards. And so basically with that one of one Suarez, I was looking for a card for my friend actually, and saw this one of one card on eBay. It was coming out of China. Okay, so people think it's risky, but there's really big cards in China actually.
Absolutely.
Uh, and the price was like no way. So I just put a bid on there, and I don't want to say how much I got it for, but it was basically a song. I bought it, and then the next day, it arrived the next day. I was so surprised. It arrived the next day.
Wow.
Um, and I didn't have to pay customs, which was crazy too. Maybe they put less on there. And so I was like, I'll grade this just to make sure it's authentic. And I got it graded a PSA 9. And now I have a one of one autograph of Luis Suarez, right? Um, it'd only be better if it had the Uruguay jersey. That's the only thing that would make it better. But yeah, so there's a varied, I can't even think off the top of the head, but essentially I like to find players who are underappreciated. Um, even though their production is pretty good. It's just harder now. It's getting harder and harder now because, of everything's out there. So for example, I'll talk about Tyus Jones of who's he play for?
Phoenix. Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix. He's a Phoenix. Tyus Jones. Yeah. And he's playing really, really well. Not many people know about him, but collectors do, you know?
Really?
So yeah, collectors are the ones like they're because they're especially the ones that buy and sell, right? So they're seeing, okay, he's got production, he's gonna get, more popular and his card's gonna go up. So what they do is they start buying up all the cool looking cards or whatever, right? And so and especially for example, COMC, you can see price built into their potential, right? So if you see that the price on eBay and COMC, a lot of times it's higher on COMC,
Hmm.
you can think, okay, maybe, I don't pay for shipping, I don't pay for taxes on COMC or whatever. But even after that, it's still too high. So usually it's because people are putting in the potential in there, or just being greedy, like, a lot of people.
Yeah, I bet it's more that. I mean, but I do agree with you that card people are kind of if you really want to know how good people think players are, the card guys are putting their money where their mouth is. So,
Yeah.
that I do think it makes it challenging. I mean, I think, we're all consuming the same information, of course, but some of us do it more deeply or see different things maybe, and that's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple players like it's like Jose Ramirez, for example. He has really great production, but the value of his cards, they don't match. It doesn't match his production. I'm not saying he's cheap, but compared to what he does on the field, they're cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Altuve as well because of there's like a negative connotation. So for example,
right.
like Brett Favre, a lot of people don't like Brett Favre nowadays. His cards are dirt cheap. Even Aaron Rodgers, he's not playing that well, but he's a legendary player, but he says some things that could rub people the wrong way, so his cards
Right.
go down, right? So
Right.
but a guy like Jose Ramirez, he's just quiet. He doesn't say anything, right? And he seems like a good guy, but his cards, they're above the average, but they're not like superstar. He's almost a superstar. So yeah, I like to grab, people like,
Those value
he's
guys.
underappreciated. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's always hard to determine what makes someone kind of hobby value go up. Because there are so many guys like that who are actually producing on the field, but they don't have the hobby love for whatever reason. And some players who have crazy hobby love, but don't have the stats. I mean, like to me, the crazy one, like I'm a Sacramento Kings fan, is Jason Williams, from back
Yeah.
in the day. I mean, his cards go for crazy. I mean, but he wasn't actually very good. But obviously, we know it's
Yeah.
because he's so fun to
It's
watch and all that.
flashy. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, that's why I love it. Kind of trying to figure out. And obviously, you get to collect the guys you like, and I mean, you have a lot of current players, which makes it fun, right? I mean, I think collecting modern cards is fun in that regard for sure.
Yeah, that's why like well, first before we get onto that, a few players I look for, a couple retired ones. Drew Brees. Drew
Yep.
Brees, his cards are not that high. You can get like really low numbered cards for pretty cheap. Even autographs you can get for relatively cheap. I'm not going to say they're cheap, but uh, even Peyton Manning, if you think about what he did, he's still popular, but his cards don't like they don't match that. He's higher than Drew Brees, but for what he was, they should be even higher. Uh, uh, Active player Jokic. I just got a Jokic auto, uh, a Panini impeccable on card auto out of 25 for like $300, right?
Yeah.
And that like if you look
Yeah.
at his sales and like you can get a lot of auto for like $300, but if you have a guy like Luca, there's no way you're gonna get a card for $300. But Jokic is better than Luca. I'm
Of
sorry.
course. Of
You
course.
know,
Yeah, I'm more
yeah.
of a Luca collector, but I totally agree. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and he's got a championship too, as well, right? I mean, Luka's really flashy. Like, I mean, he's great, but Jokic is probably the best player in the NBA. So,
No doubt. He
um,
is. He is. Yeah.
and then there's former top prospects that are still really young. They didn't perform really well for their really brief stint in coffee. Like for example, Jordan Lawler. His cards, you can get autographs of Jordan Lawler for really cheap now. We're jumping into baseball. Sorry, everybody. Jordan Lawler was a top prospect like last year. He's only played like 7 games. He didn't do that well. And then it really is kind of like it doesn't make any sense. For example, Jason Dominguez, he didn't do really well in his brief stints, and he's always injured, but his cards are still really high. Like, Anthony Volpe is not his production in the field isn't that great, but he still had his cards are super high. But a guy like Jordan Lawler, who quite possibly could do really well next year, everybody's a tip for you guys out there. Find the Jordan Lawler card numbered on card autos for like you can get it for like $30, honestly, rookie cards. So yeah, it's crazy how like it's a lot of it is just mental. It's all mental, honestly, but yeah.
It keeps us entertained. So, kind of in closing, I guess, unless there's a topic you want to bring up, and anything you want to bring up, because I was just going to ask you, kind of what you like best about the hobby. Um,
To tell you what I like worst.
all right.
These inflation, there's been inflation everywhere, but I think the hobby has a lot of greedflation, extreme greedflation. Uh it is harder for like, the average hobby guy to, buy boxes and stuff like that because there's an element of, some people call it gambling, but it is a little bit gambling. It's
It,
excitement though, right? Opening up the box, right? Like I'll bring this up right here. There's a 365 FIFA, and there's some excitement in there, right? But not as much.
right.
Uh, because like it's really hard to even get anything that's of any value in there, but it's also reflected in the low cost, whatever, comparatively. But they have also gone up in price, right? But when you have this like 2024 Topps Chrome update box for like $500, it's like it's it's bananas, right? And so that I think that's the part of the hobby that has is not good. So if you're a young kid, like if I was like 11 years old and I can't get a lot of money from my parents, I could never get cards, It's kind of
100%.
short-sighted, I think, of fanatics and Panini and all them. I love you guys. You guys are great. Give me some free stuff.
Um, Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's a common feeling across the hobby. I mean, just opening boxes is and obviously the ROI, as you mentioned at the beginning, it's just kind of not there unless you're really lucky.
Yeah,
So
I mean, even I'm not even saying for people trying to buy and sell stuff. Just
yeah,
you want some value back if you're putting money into it, right? You
100%.
want to be, so even if you're just a collector and that's it, you still want to get something that is worth collecting instead of just like pieces of paper that are basically fire kindle.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. Well, good. Thanks so much for coming on, Ashanti. Great meeting you. Again, welcome to Turkey. You can find Ashanti at Digging in the Cards on Instagram, and we're hoping to maybe link up in January, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Anytime you have a topic about anything, you have your co-host as well. We can have a round table. That'd be pretty cool.
Sounds good. Look forward to it. All right, man.
All right. All right. Happy
Thanks for joining us.
Thanksgiving.
Thanks for your time.
All right. Bye bye.